rock. I gotta send it to my brother too. Oh my god, I just realized we have 15 followers. We're
hey.
almost there. Yeah, we need, I think,
25.
25, so like 10 more, and then we can finally be affiliated, and now I can add like badges and emotes and all this other stuff on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited. Okay.
Sweet.
Let me see, refresh it. Send it to my brother, because then he'll get mad.
Is everything all good on my side?
Yeah, everything should be good. Let me also start the jazzy music. Or actually, we'll do little lo-fis.
The thing has been posted to schedule.
Oh, it has really quick too. Whoa, that was quick.
Wait, am I really quiet on stream?
Hold up, I'm gonna.
I don't know actually, but you sound great here. Like I adjusted your volume.
Because it sounds, I feel like I'm like a little bit quieter.
No, I think you
No,
sound
you're
sound
fine.
great.
Good? Okay. I think my Twitch is just quiet then.
You'll be fine. I thought you were great. It's totally fine. Alright, I have this open. Alright. I say we can start already.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Here, we'll go ahead and do the load-in screen. Loading. Whee! Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Oh my god, so awesome.
Hello.
Oh my god. I was gonna wait until a little bit more people come, but I guess we're gonna start now if we wanted to.
It's up to you.
I don't know. What do you want to do, Thomas? Should we start now?
Wait a couple bits.
Wait a couple bits. Very well.
You can take a couple more bites of your pie.
Nah, that's fine.
It's okay.
I'm full. I'll finish it later.
While he's talking.
I'm gonna go fill up my water, so I will BRB.
Yep, that's totally fine. Oh, the stream looks great.
Yeah, it does.
Oh
I sent it to my people, so may or may not get a couple of stragglers from there.
It's okay. You said studio mode can help me see, right? Okay. When it's live and
See
edit
how
it.
it is. Yeah.
Okay, I have it on that.
Hold up. Oh wait, do you want me to test the chatting feature or the spawn?
Yeah.
Oh, I really hope this works.
I also have to post this as well.
Okay, it works.
Oh, nice! That's so stinking cute. Wait, I wonder if we can do us as well. I spawn. Oh my gosh, so cute. And then I'll also do I spawn here. Oh my gosh, so many moo-moos are coming alive. That is so cute. Hello. So there's actually an added feature that we did on stream that if you do exclamation mark spawn, you can spawn a little cow. So now there's gonna be many moo-moos, different colors, different sizes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's super cute. And then
Wait, does it have a limit?
No, I don't think so.
Uh-oh. It doesn't have a limit, but it only has, it's one per person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then here are all the commands that you guys can do for the cows and all that.
I actually didn't check if there was a limit.
Yeah, I didn't think there was a limit anyway.
I'm sure.
No, it's one per person.
Okay.
And then to like activate Moo Moo and all that, the yellow cow in the corner, It's right here. Hold on. All these commands are for Mumu as well. So it's very cute. Okay. Does the music sound a little bit good? Let me put it a little bit higher. Right. I say we can start. No, Thomas?
Yeah, I can start.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast, Dear Diary. I have our co-host, Thomas.
Hello.
And our special guest that is joining us is Cappy, aka Connor. Connor in the house. So,
I mean, technically, I was a co-host. The first one didn't.
yeah, I don't know. We just decided to say special guest, but we don't know.
That's fair.
That's
you know
fair.
What? I'm okay.
It's okay. No hard feelings. But yeah, I'm happy that you can join us again. I know the first episode it was pretty wonky with all the bands and all that in Roblox. It was pretty funny. But yeah, before we start, there's been new adjustments and all that. We did have this new thing that people can interact in the stream. So if you do !, spawn, you can spawn your own little cow. So you can be part of the Moo herd. So it's very, very cute. People can do that, and then you'll like spawn as like a little cow.
And you can trample all over me. And...
Yeah, I think I just see somebody that just joined us. Oh my god, welcome to the cow herd. Oh, it's so cute. And then, of course, if you want to interact with Mumu, all the commands I did leave it there as well. And Mumu will go ahead and interact with you. So, yeah. Today's episode is pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. This episode is gonna be about breaking news. There's gonna be lots of news that we need to cover. And I don't know. I just feel like there's been a lot have been going on. I see my brother commenting. He's all saying lol. Yeah, they're so cute. The little cows and everything, the herds, they're all like bouncing. What is it called? Before we start with the news and all that, I was going to say that we only have 10 more followers to reach our goal for 25 followers. So if you guys can go ahead and follow, we'll go ahead and be affiliated pretty soon. So we're trying to reach our goal. We're trying to reach there. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
He said, hell yeah. All right. So starting off with our news. Give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and pull it up. Did you want to start, Connor, or did you want us like to start like our other stuff, or should we start with the judgment pending?
I feel like mine is pretty long, so we can do. You guys can start first.
Okay. I can do a really quick like read rapids of like W Reddit stories. So it's kind of like good news, and then after that, the rest is gonna be terrible news.
Okay.
Okay, that sounds fair. Okay. All right, starting with judgment pending. We want to start off with actually some good news, and they're just gonna be rapid news of like people doing W things like in the world. So for example, one of the Reddit stories, hold on, let me try to click it on it really quick. So apparently a woman wins lottery, and I think she wins up to like 150K, and she ends up donating all the money to charity. So that's actually a pretty W on her for sure. That's very sweet. She donated to charity, all of it, but I don't know what charity she ends up donating it. I'm trying to look really quick on it, but it just says that she just decided to donate all 150K to charity. And I say that's pretty W. That's pretty W right there.
Yeah.
Right, right.
I feel like the only downside with like lottery money is that usually they pay off in like over the course of like 10 years. So they'll give you just like a little bit each year.
Yeah, my thing about it is, even though 150K is a lot of money, don't get me wrong, I just feel like they're just gonna tax you heavy to the point I feel like you're not even gonna have
Oh
maybe
yeah.
100K. You'll probably end up like having like maybe 50K or something like that, or 70. But that's just my opinion. That's just
Yeah.
me. But you know,
It
pretty W.
says I'm reading up on it. It says federal tax rates vary based on your tax bracket with rates up to 37%. So you're
Yeah.
right. Like worst case scenario, she only gets like 100K out of the 150, but like still not bad. 100K is plenty of money, more
Yes.
money than like many people see. So still huge.
Yeah. Which I really want to read up in the future maybe where she donated it all, because if she donates it to like, you know, I feel like cancer research, that would be pretty W.
Especially with
Or
the funding cuts.
yeah, funding cuts, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Or I don't know, other medical things is pretty W. I mean, obviously women care as well, like people that are poor and all that, and they need care and all that. You know, honestly, when I think about it, this kind of triggers my memory when I used to work at the casino. And okay, fun fact, did work in a casino, worked there for like 2 years or whatever. So I seen a lot of shit. Seen a lot of shit, heard a lot of shit, crazy stuff. One of the things that the casino did was they would do like a kind of like a lottery kind of thing. So they would pick a name, and basically that person won either 25K, like this car or truck or whatever,
Hmm.
or they'll like get like 25K cash. And the majority of people that I saw that when they did win the vehicle, quote unquote, they all decided to just get the 25K in cash. And the reason why I heard about it, don't know if this is true, allegedly. They were saying that when one of the people was trying to get the vehicle, she was saying that how it was like half bought, but it wasn't like really bought or anything like that. So she would have to pay the rest in cash or something like that. And it was
Oh,
like, yeah, it was very
interesting.
scammy. It was very scammy. And it was just like other things that she's gonna end up paying or something out of pocket. So that's why a lot of
Yeah.
people just decided to cash out with like 25K. But in theory, they wouldn't really get the 25K. They'll probably get like maybe 10 or 15 if they're lucky, especially with Arizona tax and all that. But who knows?
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Like, I mean, do you by like they have to pay the rest? Do you mean like it would be like a I don't know, like let's say a $50,000 car, right? And the casino is only covering for half of it, but you still have to pay for the other half.
Yeah, apparently that's what was going on. And then sometimes these
Interesting.
vehicles were wrapped in like crazy wrap, like the Cardinals, like, or other sports or something like that. Or sometimes it would just be plain all black or gray or whatever, right? These vehicles. And then it was just crazy because it would just be super scammy. It's like, well, if you really want the car, because it sounded like the casino wanted to keep the car to make it look nice inside the casino. They'll be like,
Yeah.
well, these are the hidden fees. And it would be like so much that to the point that they wouldn't even be able to afford it, like monthly, payments for the car and all this other stuff. So
Yeah.
very, very scammy.
Plus, like you got to pay for insurance. Now you have a new car. They have to figure out the
Yep.
logistics. Like, where do I park it? Do I even need this car?
Yep.
That's like fucking insane.
Yeah, so it was very, very scammy, to be honest. So that's why a lot of people opt out to like the 25K, quote unquote. But allegedly, this is what I heard from the person that won. So yeah, I don't know. But again, W for the lady. Proud of her. I think it was a Virginia lottery that she won, and it looks like it if I can zoom in a little bit. All right, let's go to another W. Apparently, let me open this one. Open link. Apparently, in Africa, they're showing early signs of green economy surge, which is honestly pretty W. Let's see another one. So apparently, as well, another thing. Hold on, let me open this. New Mexico is to be the first state to launch universal child care system. The governor actually announces this, and I believe this announcement, it says 16 days ago. So honestly, pretty W, and I'm hoping that in the future, why they cannot provide all of that, like free children care or I guess free healthcare, all that, to be honest. But that's good.
Yeah.
W for the children, because man, I don't know if when I
Well,
got sick, I felt bad that my parents like had to pay a heavy bill, you know?
Yeah. I just wish that, like, I feel like maternal leave should be way more like compensated in the U.S. because like in other countries it's like, you know, like they cover you for months, like they'll give you paid leave for like several months, like 6 months to care for your baby. But even with just like childcare on as a whole, like especially I don't want to get into the political stuff yet, but like especially with the way things are going, like
Right.
I feel like things are, to hear that out of all the bad things that are going on, like that's really nice to hear about.
Yeah, I 100% this is a W for New Mexico for sure. Hoping that this can influence other states, and then it can be at least for the children to be free healthcare for sure. And then maybe in the future for us, but you know, it's all about the children and they're our future and all that. So this is a W for sure. I know for fraternity leave, I'm gonna be honest, it's so this is what I hear, okay, from my sister-in-law and then also my current friend that's also, she's gonna be taking fraternity leave soon. Fraternity leave, like they do give you like an allowance money, but it's not even a lot. I think
No.
they'll give you like maybe 1/3 of your check. So if you're lucky, you'll get like maybe $200 from
Insane.
yeah, from your check.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, and it's like, well, damn, like fuck me too for getting pregnant. You know, fuck me for like giving birth.
Exactly.
No, for real, like maybe in the future my sister-in-law, she can discuss about this and all that, or even my future in the future my friend can talk about fraternity leave and how it sucks and all that. Oh, my chatter just commented, says more jobs should take care of employees, 60% checks. Yeah, I don't know, it's pretty rough. I don't know, especially for women. Technically every woman's different, right, when they're giving birth, and 3 months is like crazy enough. I think it should be up to like, all right, maybe 6 months or like maybe a year.
Oh, yeah.
Fraternity leave until the baby's like can walk by himself, like all this other like very independency kind of thing. But I don't know, and especially for women's recovery, there's there's like post depression like syndrome and all that.
Postpartum is
Yeah.
very long and strenuous process that takes a very long time, and a lot of jobs and companies and corporations do not give enough time because, I mean, the first year is like the most development your kid will have in your care, because that's the development stage. That's like, that's like their first everything. So like missing that to work is just unfortunate, you know.
Yeah, it just makes me sad because I'm like, definitely I believe a year should be up there because that gives them enough time to grow independency, walk, eat, all these things that, you know, they're being developed. And I don't know, or like even if the government can like provide like free, like besides the free childcare, but also letting them go to nursing and all this other stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? So like, hey, if you're gonna try to go back to work, here's this free thing, like what is it called? Daycare. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be nice. It would be like free daycare and all that. But you know, who knows? It's very rough out there for moms and like families. So that's a W for New Mexico for sure, saying they're launching universal care system for them.
Yeah.
All right.
I was actually just looking this up.
Uh-huh.
And like I was looking up like parental leave in Germany, for example, because
Uh-huh.
it says that each parent is entitled to a total of up to 3 years of unpaid paternal leave until the
Oh
child
my
turns 18.
god.
Yeah.
Are you
so
serious? Well,
it's
guys,
unpaid, but,
let's
like,
pack
at the
up.
very least, you're not gonna risk losing your job if you to take care of your child, which is huge.
Yeah, that is a W for sure. I think there's even other countries that even pay for like personal mental health leave kind of thing, and they give you up to like 3 months or something like that because they don't want you to be burned out from work. So they give you like 3 months of pay of like mental health. So I'm just like, yo, whatever country that is, we gotta go. Oh my gosh, that's really W. Okay. These are other W things that I've been reading as well, and I think this is starting to become like a very, very good outturn for like healthcare. Starting off with supposedly Lola, a golden retriever, was diagnosed with terminal cancer, was given months to live. After enrolling in inhaled immunity therapy trial, she is finally cancer-free 2 years later. And that's a W for this dog. That is so cute.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I don't know what else they talk about besides just immunity therapy angle is going to be more huge now because unfortunately, yeah, they're trying on animals, but it sounds like it's been really great news and now they're cancer free. And I've been seeing not just that, but there's also a story that if I can remember, it's on here too, that scientists are developing new blood cancer treatment technique, which is really W, honestly, because I feel like we're getting a few more steps forward of now things can be cancer free, you know, and helping those people that have cancer. And that's a fucking W. Let's see. There's another W story that we can talk about. There is a woman that couldn't swim. She ends up saving an 11-year-old from drowning. And then when they finally meet, the child called her a hero, basically her hero. And it's very sweet and wholesome. And then it's pretty funny because a lot of people commented like, this is amazing. That's number one. But number two, do not ever do this because you're literally risking your own life. But
Yeah.
can you imagine? Well, I don't know how to swim.
2 drowned people.
Yep. 2 drowning people.
It's like the clip from SpongeBob.
No, yeah.
I will
Go ahead.
say this. Like for like things of like if a person who's like underneath something really heavy, hysterical strength is a really interesting thing to talk about it. Because what it basically is like you are using absolutely everything to do something. Like there was a story about a cop and there was a lady that was crushed underneath a car, and the police officer, although he was injured afterwards, was able to lift the car from the old lady to help her get out.
Oh, wow.
It is very, very interesting, right? Of like, you can do so much. The human body is insane, but you can't really use a lot of that strength. But when it comes to the whole thing of like adrenaline in that moment, you can do just about anything. It just requires that type of situation that unlocks it for you. you know.
Right.
But I mean, this could have happened here of like this situation. I need to save this kid, no matter what. If I go, I go, and that kind of just fueled her to be able to save the kid.
I think so. Well, I mean, it's very reckless, don't get me wrong. But for sure, if you know how to swim, you know how to, like, save somebody, please do. But if you don't know how to swim, do not risk yourself at all. Like, I get it, but who knows? Like, she couldn't really stay back or anything, and she went for it. Honestly, I would have saved the kid too. I've been like, well, because I believe, okay, I think this happened like a year ago. One of my dogs, he ended up falling because he had, what is it called? Oh my god, I'm like blanking out. Arthritis, right? So his back of the feet were like a little wonky and all that when he walks sometimes. So it takes him a bit to walk correctly. And I do recall that he ended up falling. And I was like looking for him, like for whatever reason, outside. And then I remember I saw him in the pool and I was like, what is he doing? I went running for him. And I don't even know how long he was there trying to like swim out or come out of the pool and all that. It was very scary. And he like weighs like more than like maybe 80 pounds. So me trying to lift him up and get him out with all my strength, it was just so hard. It was just so, oh my god. Thankfully I did like get him out, and then I gave him some water, some food, make sure he was okay, stable, and he was fine. He was just, unfortunately he had like little bruises and like bleeding scars of his nail. Looks like he was just trying to crawl out of the pool, but he was okay. He's okay. He ended up surviving. Yeah.
It's good to hear.
Yeah, so in that moment I was just like, we gotta save him. So yeah, I think you're right about that, Thomas, about how you just get like this super strength or whatever, and that's what I feel like was happening to me. So I was just like, oh my god, I'm so strong.
Oh yeah, no, it's a thing. It's like a proven thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm a superhero.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
when
you
it comes
say.
to saving the things that you hold dear most in life, you will unlock parts of your body that you didn't even know you could do, because you are only, it's gonna hurt, you know, because your body has the ability to do those things. Your body's not prepared to do those things. So like in the thing of like the cop, he had multiple tears in his like muscles and stuff like that, and he had a long recovery process.
Right.
But he was still able to do it to save that woman. Of like that type of like, I need to step up and be a hero, you know, that will give you the power. And like that's like a lot of people like you hear the stories of like especially for like mothers, like if their kid is in danger, a mother will do absolutely anything to save her child. So like you may hear stories of like mother does this and saves her kid, or like moves this heavy object that like looking at the mother she would never be able to do in her whole life, and she was able to do it. That is why.
I think it's less of a conscious decision that I don't know if you mean to describe it that way, but I feel like the way you're saying it, it's like an active decision to do it. It's a lot of times it's less so an active decision and more so spur of the moment.
It's
So
the
I
spur
don't.
of the moment.
Yeah, it's very much adrenaline rushing through your body, and I'm sure there's a lot of other things. I'm not very well versed on it, but yeah, I wouldn't say, I don't know. In my opinion, I don't think it's necessarily that it's your call to action to be a hero. It's more just you see a thing that's going on, and your reaction is to go address that thing.
Yeah, it's a spur of the moment. It's not something that you can call upon. It's something that's in the moment that you, instead of, it's like your fight or flight. You either freeze or you you fight that thing, and that's where it comes from.
Okay. Well, I can rapidly finish the segment really quick. I'll just wrap it. Fire more like good news. Apparently, 11 days ago, I believe NASA announced discovery of potential life on Mars. So that's pretty W.
Not?
Yeah, but that's pretty W because there was
No, I
not
know. I'm
any
being
life.
sarcastic.
Yeah, I know. Right? Like there's actually they were showing like some images and all that. I guess like some, I don't know what any of this means, but basically there's potential life on Mars that are finally showing up on Mars. So NASA people or astronauts and all these people are so excited. They're like, whoa, we can explore Mars more. W. Okay. Really quickly, another one that is a W that I also found was 18 days ago. It says 2 members of a rock band says that they were inspired to launch an anti-bullying campaign following their own challenges experienced at school. And I don't know who these rock people are, but it says their shirts that they're wearing. I think this is the campaign of the anti-bullying. It's called Metal for Good.
Wait, hold on. You said it was a rock band, and that's called Metal for Good?
Yeah, no, that's the I think that's the anti-bullying campaign. Like that's the name that they decided to have. Metal for Good, I think.
Is the name called rock band, but they produce metal music?
I don't know. I have no idea. I just know that it's a rock band. It doesn't say what the rock band's name or anything like that, but apparently these 2 people launched anti-bullying campaign, and that campaign is called Metal for Good.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know, that's pretty W. But also, I'll be honest, is bullying still a thing though?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
What is it? Yeah.
Absolutely.
People don't just stop doing
The
it.
thing is, it's not. It's more silent. It's silent, more silent now because of the overarching thing of like the online world. Cyberbullying
is more high, right?
It's more prominent, and pretty much I would say I would give it like 80 to 75% of all bullying is cyberbullying, online bullying, because everybody's on their phone, everybody has social media, everybody knows everything, and that's where a lot of it happens. And a lot of it's like in silence, you know. It's not like you'll in the back then you'll see like bullying like in person. No, it's in the silent messages, the silent posts and stuff like that of them putting down other people. It's not that bullying is gone, it's just taken a new form. And I think it's a worse form.
Okay. See, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. See, that's where I'm thinking. I feel like it is stepping away for sure of more physical harm. And now it's more like, I guess, cyberbullying for sure, more online. So I believe that's correct. Huh?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Are you imagining like in a high school movie where it's like some guy gets like some
wedgie
pushes up this kid up against like a wedgie,
like
pushes up against a locker or something,
like very
dramatic and like physical.
Yeah, but also it's like, you know, Grease kind of style, or Mean Girls kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it was kind of like more physical and like fucked up kind of thing. I feel like that's not really a thing anymore, or that's not.
I can speak from experience, not from experience, from like anecdotal like experience. No, it's definitely a thing. It still happens very much so. Like it definitely depends on your area that you're in, because obviously like nicer schools and richer areas, they're not gonna. It depends. Like the type of violence that occurs are different, but like from experience from like working with kids and going to schools, it definitely still happens from time to time. It's taken on the form of like different ways. Like it's maybe not physical, but definitely verbally, like verbal bullying or verbally being abusive definitely is still a thing.
See, that's what I mean. I feel like it's not more physical. It turned to more verbal to online. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
I
it's more like
guess, yeah.
that.
Which I feel like is worse. I feel like that's worse.
I
Because,
think they're both
okay,
equally as bad.
they're equally as bad, but I feel like cyberbullying is something yeah, I mean, it's something you really can't run away from, you know what I'm saying?
Unless
Like,
you're
it's
off the
something you
internet.
can't really, yeah, so that's off your internet, but even then, they're still gonna keep doing it, and that's when, of like, um, it's just something that will stay there forever, you know? Of like, people will always talk regardless of the type of person you are, regardless of how you are as a person.
Mm-hmm.
People will talk, and there's going to be people that just do not like you and have your worst interest in mind. That is just life, and that will always be the case. But yeah, bullying still is very prominent.
But that's why they come up with campaigns to help, you know? And that's pretty W. So W for these
W's.
people. Let's see. I don't know if you would consider this a W because it's kind of funny. But it says one of the
Maybe a
W's.
funny W.
Yeah, but pretty funny W. It says Amazon spend $1 billion to increase pay and lower healthcare costs for U.S. workers. And this was a week ago. And a lot of people have a lot to say about it. Some people were like happy. That means people are getting like maybe like a few bucks more on their check or whatever. Or like some people are saying, oh, it's $1 raise kind of thing more. That's kind of W. Some people are saying that they definitely Amazon could have like donated way more money because when they make 1 billion, that's in 4 days. People were saying that. So some people were like, wow, that's it? That's how much money? Yeah, so some people were saying definitely they could have had like more than $1 raise or something like that. But either way, a raise is a raise, so that's pretty W. The last W that I really want to talk about, apparently Steve Burns, I don't know if you guys know who Steve Burns, but basically he's the guy that is the Blue's Clues character guy. You know, he's like, we just got a letter. I wonder who it's from. That guy, right? He ended up doing a new podcast apparently, and it's gonna be the same vibe as Blue's Clues. So that'll be pretty interesting.
I didn't know he had a podcast.
Yeah, I didn't either.
You said it's a new podcast?
Apparently, people are saying it's a new podcast. He says is the same thing as Blue's Clues. So.
Oh, but like, are you like saying that he had one in the past, and this is like a second one, or is this like the first one he's making?
This is the first one.
I think this is the first one
okay,
he's
okay.
making. That's what I understood. But yeah, a lot of people were very excited about that. You know, people that have
Nostalgia's always a good thing.
what?
Nostalgia is always a good thing.
Yeah, so that's why people are saying like, oh, it's gonna bring back childhood memories and all that. So it's gonna be kind of like Blue's Clues kind of vibes. That's what I understood. Which is that's very wholesome. But it's gonna be more to like older people and talking. So that'll be fun. So W, I cannot wait. I think that was like posted like 2 weeks ago. Don't know if it's already now that his podcast, but if it is, link right here. Picture. Other than that, we'll go ahead. Did you want to do Whisper Files, or should we just like go in with the news now?
We should go in with the news now.
All right.
I'm pretty
Who wants to
interesting.
start?
I can start.
Yeah. I'm pretty interested in what you have to say.
Okay. So.
Or should we talk
not too
about
long
the little ones?
The little ones?
The little ones. Or and you know what? It's okay. Go ahead. Start.
Okay.
Go ahead, Connor. Take the floor.
Okay. So this is a little bit of some old news. Like it's what, 2 weeks old, 3 weeks? I don't know. Like it's like 2 weeks old. It's not actually that old, but it feels like with all the new things that are coming, it feels old, even though it's not. But
Okay.
So, recently there's been a lot of good things going on with ICE, as you guys all know. There's been lots of raids that have been happening, and a lot of like racial profiling that's been going on. And one of the things that struck me like pretty hard was there was a recent Supreme Court ruling in September 8th of 2025. So what, 16 days ago, a little over 2 weeks. And it is Noam versus Vasquez. Christy Noam. To put it, so the original. So I feel like I'm gonna butcher his name, but Vasquez Perdomo. Yeah.
You can say his first name. It's okay.
Okay.
This guy's name on screen.
Basically, he is a so he's a resident of Pasadena, California. And he was arrested at a bus stop, and was detained in a basement of the Los Angeles Downtown Federal Building, because of his Latino ethnicity, and because of his identity as a day laborer. And he and a lot of other plaintiffs are filing a lawsuit against a lot of like administrative officials. So, like, for example, Christy Noam, I believe she is the Secretary of Homeland Security. Wait, yeah, she's the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. So,
okay.
There was a recent Supreme Court ruling, which I read all 31 pages of both the the concurring opinion and the dissenting opinion, and I was physically like distraught about it. Like it was very saddening to read about, and I'm trying not to get too worked up over it because I haven't even gone into it yet. But I'm just gonna read paragraph 4 of the concurring opinion by Justice Kagan, and I don't know, I think it's Kagan, and Justice Kavanaugh.
Okay.
So it reads: the Immigration and Nationality Act authorizes immigration officers to interrogate, in quotes, interrogate any alien or person believed to be an alien as to his right or to remain in the United States. Immigration officers may briefly detain an individual for questioning if they have a reasonable suspicion based on specific articulable facts that the person being questioned is an alien illegally in the United States. And then they quote United States versus Brigoni Ponce and United States versus Arvizu. The reasonable suspicion inquiry turns on the totality of the particular circumstances. So the reasons that they state to sum it up, like what they're trying to say is that I believe it was a 6-3 decision, and the factors of reasonable suspicion to detain someone that they list below is extremely damning. Just below it, it says immigration stops based on reasonable suspicion of illegal presence have been an important component of U.S. immigration. Following factors or combination. So, U.S. immigration officers from making investigative stops in the L.A. area, when the stops are based on following factors or combination of factors: 1, presence at particular locations such as bus stops, car washes, day labor pickup sites, agricultural sites, and the like. 2, the type of work one does. 3, speaking Spanish or speaking English with an accent. And 4, apparent race or ethnicity.
Yo, that's crazy.
Essentially, they are quite literally saying that ICE is legally allowed to racially profile Latinos as a reason to detain and arrest them. This is not a joke. This is the Supreme Court, the highest law of the land, or the highest court of the United States, and they are saying that if you do not speak English or you do not speak with an American accent, they have a reason to detain you or arrest you. If you look not white, they have a reason to detain you.
Oh
if you are just literally living in a neighborhood that is known to be Latino, or I don't know, just like known to be like an ethnic neighborhood, they have a reason. That's reasonable suspicion. If you're just hanging out at like a car wash or a Home Depot or a 7-Eleven, that's also apparently a reasonable like that's a reasonable suspicion, which makes no fucking sense.
Yo, that's crazy.
I wish I was making this up.
No,
And
for real.
as I was reading this, I was losing my I was genuinely losing my shit because I was like, this is not real. This is like, I've heard about this. I thought it was kind of a joke. Like I shouldn't say that. I heard about this like a week ago, like a week or two ago when it first came out. And I kind of sort of forgotten about it. But as I was like looking into some news articles, it popped back up in my head, especially with something that my friend said, which I'll get into a little bit later. But yeah, it's insane. The concurring opinion also does cite some other cases. I think it was I think it was LA. Yeah, LA versus Lyons. So Lyons is the current. I believe he's the head of. He's the head of Customs and Border Patrol. Wait, let me make sure. Yeah, Todd M. Lyons. He's the acting director of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. So he's the head of ICE. He said, so this is also from the concurring opinion. Plaintiffs have no good basis to believe that law enforcement will unlawfully stop them in the future based on the prohibited factors, and certainly no good basis for believing that any stop of the plaintiffs is imminent. Therefore, they lack Article 3 standing, absent a sufficient likelihood that the plaintiffs will again be wronged in a similar way. They are no more entitled to an injunction than any other citizen of Los Angeles. Essentially, what they're saying there is that people do not have a reasonable suspicion as someone who is Latino, or sorry, not me as someone who's Latino, but as for someone who is Latino, they're basically saying we are giving ICE the ability to racially profile someone. However, you shouldn't be scared. You have no reason to be scared. Like, we're only gonna detain you if you're unlawfully here, right? That's essentially what they're saying there. They're saying that you have no reason to be scared, even though we just listed out that we are allowed to racially profile you. And to further this, they say, to be clear, apparent ethnicity alone cannot furnish reasonable suspicion under this court's case law regarding immigration stops. However, it can be a, in quotes, relevant factor when considered along with other salient factors. It says, under the court's precedents, not to mention common sense, which I find fucking insane that they use the term common sense. Those circumstances taken together can constitute at least reasonable suspation of a legal presence in the United States. It's common sense. You're brown. That means we're allowed to think you're illegal.
Yo, that's crazy.
Okay, can I say something?
Yeah, what's up?
Because so here's the thing, and this is like I've kind of like I haven't gone into as much detail in like as much like research as you have, but I think it's really crazy how, like, let's say this, you get racially profiled, you get thrown in customs for processing and to make sure you're here legally. Your employers don't know that, and I was hearing, and I don't know if this is true, that like you have no contact while you're there.
Yep. So, a lot of times they strip you down.
Yeah, they strip you down and they take all of your possessions. So like you have no way to contact your supervisor or your families or anyone. So like your employer, which is it's not their fault in the italics, but they don't know that you're doing that. They just think, oh, he's a no call no show. That can affect someone's job. That can affect someone's livelihood. And that's what is the most insane thing to me personally, that they are essentially halting people's ability, like halting their lives in like for however long they're detained for. So I think don't be afraid is absolute bullshit.
Oh, absolutely.
Even if you are completely here legally and you are a legally abiding citizen, you are whatever, everything under the sun, you can still get affected in a way that you can lose your job, you can lose your benefits, stuff like that. Let's say like families and stuff, like people need people, and if they're not there, things happen. And if this is really going to the way that I think it's going to really affect a lot of people that don't deserve it.
Yeah. There have been many cases of a lot of U.S. citizens who have been arrested or detained by ICE and have been, like, you know, been physically assaulted or, in a lot of cases, like, you know, treated like scum of the earth.
Right.
And I believe there was a Supreme Court case similar to this. However, it was with a U.S. citizen. I forget. I'm blanking on his name. I think it starts with an O. But essentially, what they did was they physically assaulted him. They asked for his ID, and he presented his U.S. passport or a license. I forget which one it was, but some form of identification. They take it away. They still detain him. They still physically like assault him, and then they after they release him, they don't give him back his ID. So now that's and
Yo,
it's fucking insane.
what?
Yeah,
It's
no,
insane.
I wish I was joking about this. But it's literally happening, and a lot of these people, a lot of ICE officers are not like I don't know if you guys remember, but like with what do you call it? Why am I blanking on this one? George Floyd. With George Floyd, a lot of police officers were criticized for lack of training, lack of you know professionalism, and like that how easy it is to be a police officer with so little training. Look at ICE. They are literally
No
even less
training.
trained. Their only training is a quota that they have to reach with the number of people that they have to detain per day, and it's not even like they're running it like it's a fucking like it's like a fucking repo game or like it's like Lethal Company where they're like we have to hit this number of people that we detain, otherwise you know our boss is gonna be upset.
Oh my god, not you said Lethal
I'm not even
Company
joking. There was literally
repo.
I wish I was joking about all this,
I
but like
know, but that's crazy. That's a crazy like comparison, and you know,
but like it
you're right
really puts
though.
into perspective
Yeah.
how little these people actually care about what's going on. They're just here to fulfill numbers.
Right.
Yeah, but to go back to the concurring opinion, um let me just catch up to where I was really quickly. Importantly, reasonable suspicion means only that immigration officers may briefly stop the individual and inquire about immigration status. If the person to a U.S. citizen, or if the person is a U.S. citizen or otherwise lawfully in the United States, that individual will be free to go after the brief encounter. Only if the person's illegally in the United States may the stop lead to further immigration proceedings. This is also proven in many cases to not actually be true. A lot of people are even it it baffles me. It actually angers me even that the concurring opinion is trying to is trying to state that a ICE detention is simply they walk up to you, they just ask for IDs, and then they let you go and they're all kind and courteous. No, a lot of times they come to your doorstep, they come to your place of employment, they come to wherever you are, they seek you out, they find you, they're masked, they have guns, they have like they are in military style uniforms, and they do not present a warrant a lot of the times. They do not present like who they do not identify themselves of who they are besides the like ice patch they have on their body vest. And they abduct you. They're wearing masks, they abduct you. This is not like some kind of civil detainment. Like it's not like a police officer rolls up to you at a traffic stop. Like it's way worse than that. And I don't understand how out of touch you can be with what's going on in the world as a Supreme Court judge to be like to say these things as if it's something that just like, you know, they're there, they walk up to you and they just ask a couple questions and go away. But yeah, to add on to this, also by the concurring opinion, this was a quote from Justice Kavanaugh. He says, and by illegally immigrating into the remaining country and remaining in the country, they are not only they as in illegal immigrants, they are not only violating the immigration laws, but also jumping in front of those non-citizens who follow the rules and wait in line to immigrate into the United States through the legal immigration process. For those reasons, the interests of illegal immigrants in evading questioning and thus evading detection of their legal presence are not particularly substantial as a legal matter. I find it infuriating that he is saying that illegal immigrants are getting in the way of good, hardworking U.S. citizens. Within, if this was truly the case, if he really cared about this as a situation, what about Canada? What about other like people from immigrating from I don't know Asia to the West Coast? What about the other side, Europe or even like on the East Coast? Why is it only Latinos? Why is it only one group of people? And I don't doubt that eventually they're going to expand this to other ethnic groups or other racial groups.
Right.
But right now, it's like this is just clearly not the case. It's not what's going on, and it's very clear that this is not what's going on. It feels like like I don't know, it feels so closed off. Like this opinion feels so uninformed. And as someone as the law of the land, to be this uninformed about what's going on feels like it feels insulting as someone who lives in this country. Um but just to close off the concurring opinion, Kavanaugh says, in sum, the government has demonstrated a fair prospect of success on the merits and has met the other factors for an interim stay pending appeal of the district court's injunction. I therefore vote to grant the government's application. So essentially, they're siding with Kristi Noem, saying that I forget exactly what it's about, but or sorry, I forget exactly like this specific case. But I do know that the Noam versus Vasquez case is about the racial profiling, the random or like assumingly random and violent detaining and arresting of Latinos. Like it's fucking insane.
It's like, damn, what did we do? We just
apparently,
work.
apparently you guys
Exactly.
stole U.S. jobs. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Just like the thing is like it really goes against how this country was built upon. This country was built upon immigrants
hmm
from all walks of life. It's not just the Latinians; it's everyone. You know.
Latinians.
Yeah. Latinians. Latinians, these
Mhm.
nuts.
Saying
Sorry.
like it's its own country.
Just and everything like that, but like it was built off of immigrants, and now they're citing that where this is our country and no one's allowed to be in here, but like we can let everybody but the Latinos in here, and it's like they are their biggest hypocrites. Like that's how I've always seen it. Of like they will do exactly what suits them in that moment. Of like and like it's also like when like these interviews of like these politicians are like somebody brings up a valid point, they don't know what to say, and they backtrack to um their like common phrases that they do of just like kind of like diffusing the situation, or like making themselves out to look like the victims here, but um and like downplaying.
hmm
But I just feel like it's distasteful that it's affecting people who are legal citizens.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be better customs for the people who are here illegally, um, especially in the humanitarian aspect of it. I feel like there should be nicer processes in order to send them home and everything like that, because it is law for every country that if you're not here and you're not a legal citizen, you have to go back to your country where you have citizenship. That is just the
Well,
law for every country. But sometimes it's like you go in there and it's a very easy process to get your citizenship.
yeah.
I
I have
feel
a
like
few
it should
things
be
to
an easier
comment.
process. Go for it.
Yeah. Well, like to start off, they personally, quite honestly, they don't care.
They really
You
don't.
mentioned that they should have like a better process to discern illegal and legal immigrants, but quite honestly, they don't care.
They don't care.
It's very clear that they do not care. Um, and in a lot of cases, there are ways to get like U.S. I don't know if you've ever had family or known someone who's tried to apply for a U.S. citizenship or have gone through that process, but as someone with parents who has done that, I can tell you it's not easy. It takes years, sometimes even like a decade or more to get it processed, because a lot of the requirements are it's literally just you have to like be in the country for a certain amount of time for months to years at a time. I forget exactly what the requirements are, but I know you do have to pass a literacy test. You have to pass a, I believe, like a civics test, um, and it's not on paper. It's not that bad, but in practice, it takes an incredibly long time, like years and years of 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 like of just time to actually become a U.S. citizen.
Mm-hmm.
There was, yeah, like the whole thing of like immigration is so bad, and something that was really really interesting, and there was multiple like reports on it that like the the customer service aspect of immigration, a lot of it is done by bots, not even human reviewed. A lot of like applications are done by bots and not done by active people who are working in immigration, which I think is insane. It should not be like that. Every single application that goes through for immigration should be checked by someone. Can would Is that person a good person or not? Who knows? Probably not. But having it done by a bot, or like these bot responses of like these cookie cutter, oh, this and this and this or whatever, um is insane. And it happens a lot. I mean, I can't I would there's like a situation, this was like a while ago, of like this team that was going to play in the USA. They were from a different country and they were trying to get citizenship, or like be able to be in the country. And all of their responses back, for like, they did all the processes, they did everything exactly how they wanted to, and they just got a reply from a bot being like, "No, sorry." And I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's like one of those situations. Are you human? And you gotta click yes. But the boss said nope. You said no.
Yep, exactly. That is exactly how it feels like for a lot of these people.
Hmm.
And it's not just people who want to live here. It's people who want to visit here on like
Yeah.
school or medical or anything like that. Like every single way to get in this country is the most difficult way ever. And it is done by people who do not have brains or common sense, deciding the lives of these people. Because I will say, even with the country's misfortune and everything bad, a lot of people around the world still think this is the country of opportunity. Everything is here. The
The
people who live
American
here,
pipe dream.
the American pipe dream. Like the thing is like the people who are U.S. citizens do not think so, but the people who don't really have the full concept and scope of how America is right now still have that dream of like, this is this land of opportunity. That's why there's so many immigrants here. It's because America was built off that dream that it was completely independent. You can do whatever you want here, you know? And that dream, or that ideology of this country, is slowly losing its grip. And over the course of these few years, it's increasingly going faster, of like that individualism, that freedom, that everything that this country was based upon is slowly losing its shine and its appeal.
Yeah. I did also want to read the dissenting opinion by Sotomayor and Justice Sotomayor and Justice Jackson, if that's cool.
Yep.
So, to start off, I believe this is from Sotomayor, maybe, hopefully. They say that the government that likely so they believe that the government likely violated the Fourth Amendment. Put in context, the Fourth Amendment is the what was it? Your right for the right for that you need a warrant signed by a judge, and that you are not allowed to be unreasonably searched or for unreasonable searches or seizures.
Right.
And that usually involves, like, for example, traffic stops with police, and now especially with ICE, how they're looking for people, seizing people, and like detaining, questioning. But They write, based on the evidence before it, the court held that the government was stopping individuals based solely on four factors. One, their apparent race or ethnicity. Two, whether they spoke Spanish or English with an accent. Three, the type of location at which they were found, such as a car wash or bus stop. And four, the type of job they appeared to work. Concluding that stops based on these four factors alone, even when taken together, could not satisfy the Fourth Amendment's requirement of reasonable suspicion. District Court temporarily enjoined the government from continuing its pattern of unlawful mass arrest while it considered whether long-term relief was appropriate. Um, on top of that, it says instead of allowing the district court to consider these troubling allegations in the normal course, a majority of this court decides to take the once extraordinary step of staying the district court's order. The decision is yet another grave misuse of our emergency docket. We should not have to live in a country where the government can seize anyone who looks Latino, speaks Spanish, and appears to work a low wage job, rather than stand idly by while our constitutional freedoms are lost. I dissent. And she goes into citing a lot of different Supreme Court cases, or not even Supreme Court cases, but just a lot of court cases. I think they actually are Supreme Court cases, but a lot of cases in general about ICE arrests, how they are assaulting a lot of and assaulting, detaining without reasonable suspicion. And I noted one of them down. This is
it the Glendale one? I see it. This is like in Glendale, nearly a dozen mass agents with guns jumped out of the car at a Home Depot and began chasing and tackling a Latino laborer without identifying themselves as ICE or police and asking questions or saying anything. And then there's other cases that, like a tamale vendor person, I guess, like they were handling him as like jumping out of the van, rushing him, tackling him again without asking questions or anything, and just literally locking him up and taking him away.
That's not the one that I was going to read, but that one is like still extremely damning. Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
The one I was gonna say was if you want to go to page 4, it's on the very top.
I was looking at page 13. My bad.
Oh, no, that's okay. It says one Latino U.S. citizen, in quotes, feels like he needs to carry his passport for protection in case federal agents stop him again. Keyword again. Another Latino U.S. citizen similarly wrote worries that as a visibly Latino man, he could be detained if he does not carry a passport or carry his passport, but decided against doing so because he believes that that as an American he should not have to live like that in his own country.
Right.
I recently I talked to you about this yesterday, Zuzu, but
right.
One of my friends who lives in Mexico but I believe goes to school in California, or sorry, not California, in Arizona. I'm not going to name names for their privacy, but essentially they were abducted by ICE. ICE raided their school, abducted her and other students, and as well as like I believe a teacher, maybe more than one teacher, but at least a teacher. And she said that she didn't know what was going on because by the time she had figured out ICE was raiding their school, it was already too late. They took her to a facility. She said she didn't know where she was, and thankfully she had her passport on her. If it wasn't for that fact, it would have been way worse of a situation. But she said they eventually dropped her off in front of some random pizza place, and she didn't know where she was. Like, that's fucking insane. That
yeah,
it's gotten to a point where it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's, it's one thing to hear about these stories, but it's another thing to hear about your friend being abducted by ICE agents. It's like I was in shock when I heard about it because she said it so nonchalantly, but like even now I don't even know how to fully like comprehend this, how to feel about it, because I'm still in so much shock that it even happened.
It would have been definitely worse if she did not have her passport. She would have been there days or even weeks, because there's people that have been incidents that are supposedly being ICE, or like, you know what I mean? There's so many reports of like people are pretending to be ICE, and it's literally free kidnapping and human trafficking. And that's scary as fuck that that's happening and that's being allowed.
Yeah, it's wild. It is straight up. It is so many parallels. I believe that there's so many parallels to what's going on in this country with the way it's being run by the current administration. to a lot of things that happened during World War II. I mean, it a lot of the things that are going on, it can be ICE can be like closely related to Gestapo in Germany. The secret police that would that would kidnap Jews and take them to detention camps, or internment camps. I forget the name. Is it? I'm pretty sure it's
Concentration
detention. I don't.
camps.
Concentration camps. That's the word. Right. And even with the way that Trump is running it, he's hit literally the first day that he took the oath. The oath is literally to defend and uphold the Constitution. The amount of times this man has broken the Constitution and has gone on as the literal face of our country, of the United States, the amount of things that he says that are either opinion pieces that are based on made up evidence, it's like a what do you call it? It's like reality TV. Like this can't be real. It has to be made up. But the worst part is that this is just how it is. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent. So let me go back to let me go back to this. Let me finish
It's okay.
There's
Take your time.
To wrap things up a little bit, Sotomayor then talks about how allowing the seizure of any Latino speaking Spanish at a car wash in Los Angeles tramples the constitutional requirement that officers must have a particularized and objective basis for suspecting the particular person stopped of criminal activity. And this is quoted from United States versus Cortez. Yeah, it's a lot of like, you know, it's a lot of the things that she and I believe other two dissenting justices have quoted. A lot of them are other Supreme Court cases. They use a lot of precedent to support their opinion on why this is bad and why this is not good. And literally the concurring opinion is oh no, it's, you know, we have a reason to believe this. Why? We just feel like it. They do provide some recent court cases, but a lot of
It's
it,
just a feeling in my nuts.
it's literally just based off vibes, and they're racist vibes.
Yo, I think I literally told you this last time, Connor. It reminds me of like The Office. Michael, he's like,
Yeah.
you have to have cause, Michael, cause I hate him. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, the reasonable deniability is crazy with everybody that's involved with this. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, and like it kind of like for like the Constitution constantly being reworded and everything like that, and rules being broken. The Constitution just feels more and more like a piece of paper.
Oh, absolutely. It doesn't mean shit. Literally, there was it's funny because there's a clip of Trump in the White House, and the reporter's asking him about a copy of the Declaration of Independence that's in the White House, and Trump is like, "Oh, that's the Constitution," and then he says how it's about peace and unity and like how like American spirit, and it's like, no, it's the fucking Declaration that's literally about separating from Britain. Like, what are you talking about? Like, first of all, you don't even know what that is. Second of all, you don't even know what the Declaration of Independence is even about and what the country's built on. It's literally built on civil unrest. No, actually, sorry. Yeah, civil unrest is the right
That's the
term.
word, yeah.
Yeah. But wrapping this up, because I should definitely wrap this up. I'm just gonna skip down, or I should actually say this part because I feel like it's pretty important. This is a quote from, actually, I'll just read this whole paragraph because it's pretty fucking damning. Moreover, the on-the-ground reality contradicts the government's and the concurrence's claim of a chilling effect, since the issuance of the TRO, I believe that is something restraining order. I forgot what the T stands for, but it's a type of restraining order. I think it's temporary restraining order. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem has called the district judge an "in quote idiot" and vowed that none of the government's operations are going to change. The CBP, Customs and Border Patrol chief patrol agent in the Central District has stated that his division will, in quotes, turn and burn, and in also in quotes, go even harder now, and posted videos on social media touting his agents' continued efforts. Um, Chasing, cuffing, and deporting people at car washes. Um, an example of this, July 21st, an incident where two masked agents walked into a donut shop, grabbed two Latino men, and threw them to the ground or against a wall, all without asking questions. Accordingly, there was no reason to credit the government's assertion that it will suffer irreparable harm. The fact that Kavanaugh is saying they have nothing to be worried about. You don't have anything to be worried about. You have no reason to be scared. And at the same time, there's many different cases where they are just blindly, or at least not announcing who they are and what their warrant, if they have a warrant in the first place, and what they're doing. And they're literally just assaulting people for the sake of their race. Finally, this is the last paragraph of the dissenting opinion. The Fourth Amendment protects every individual's constitutional right to be free from arbitrary interference by law officers. Bergoni Ponce. After today, that may no longer be true for those who happen to look a certain way, speak a certain way, and appear to work a certain type of legitimate job that pays very little, because this is unconsciously irreconcilable with our nation's constitutional guarantees. I dissent. So, yeah, this is America. It is a fucking shit show. It is deplorable what's going on in our country, and I'll be honest, it's not even a full year yet. We still have 3+ more years of this shit, and it's not gonna even after he's out of office. It's not gonna suddenly go back to like being better or go back to being in a state where it was better. It's gonna stay. Like, this is definitely something that's gonna continue. And I was talking about this with my friend yesterday in when we were hanging out, but I literally told them, like, yeah, I feel like we're gonna have a civil war before the end of Trump's term. I don't feel like the U.S. is going to be a united country. I feel like it's gonna be very much very much separated.
Okay. Can I say something?
You're far away from the mic.
I finished with my thing.
Okay, I'll say this. I was looking at breaking news and stuff like that. This happened today, which is very ironic in what you just said. I will read the headline.
I think I know what you're talking about. Is it the one in Texas?
Yep.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
There was a shooting at an ICE facility in Texas. And what it says is that one of the detainees is dead, and then two more are injured. But the person who did it was an anti-ICE person, because that's what the bullet casings said.
Right.
Anti-ICE, which is insane. I mean, it's gonna be fighting fire with fire, and that's what's gonna cause what you said. It's already starting of that type of
civil war.
Every man for himself, like what you just said. This is the beginnings of that, So I just wanted to add that point because you were talking about it. I'm like, this is exactly what you're talking about.
Yep. Unfortunately, but yeah. I saw that earlier today when I was looking up just like reading the news and looking up headlines. That's what reminded me of the Supreme Court ruling, and what really made me want to talk about it, because I was like, oh shit, yeah, this happened. And to go on to the, I don't know if we have time, but
we have time.
I know you mentioned you want to talk about Charlie Kirk and a couple other things.
Oh yes, going on. We're gonna go ahead, but we're just waiting for you to end your segment.
Yeah, I'm all good now. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good. All right, I'm gonna change it to Jazz. You wanted to get over, Thomas?
Of course. So I have a few things plus one of my own. because I've been meaning to talk about this for a while. But so a few of these files.
You sound like you're far away from the mic or something, but I don't know if that's your quality of mic.
It's a little bit of both. So okay. My mic just a little bit closer to me.
Okay.
So a few things is that one let me see. Let me get up for 1 second. Let me pull up my stuff. Okay. Okay. Travis Decker was charged in Washington State with 3 counts of first-degree murder. He's being accused of murdering his 3 daughters. And the reason of why they suspect him is because they went missing after a routine, a routine visitation, because him and the mother of his kids are separated, so they have visitation. And another reason of why they think it is him is because they found remains around his residence. And DNA is currently being done on these pieces of evidence, but clothing, shirts, stuff like that, and a lot of remains that really link him toward the crime. This is still ongoing, and they are still looking for one of the kids, but I think that is very interesting.
Oh, the DNA is still in pending? Okay.
Yes, the DNA is still pending, so we do not know.
Okay.
Another thing, let me see real quick. Let me go up real quick. I'll go, as I'm looking, I'll talk about the thing I want to talk about. I think everybody knows at this point of like the David case of like the artist David, and everything that's been going on with that.
Oh
about
gosh.
How there was a 15-year-old that was deceased in a car that belonged to him in an impound in LA.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Allegedly, she's actually not 15. David actually met
not?
her. Yeah, there's actually evidence coming forward with this. When David first met her, she was 13. So they've been together all the way up to she was 14. She went missing when she was 14. They found her body around they just estimated her as 15, the people that were like trying to figure her cause of death and all that, medical examiners. But she actually went missing and most likely died when she was 14. So yeah, people were saying 15, but it's actually she died when she was 14 and went missing when she was 14.
I think it is very, very interesting.
Either way, it's a child.
It is still a child.
I feel like that's even worse, actually.
It is very much worse. At the start, when this news came out that there was a body that was found in the car, a lot of people were like, "Oh, maybe it was a setup. It was an impounded. It wasn't in his possession. It was in a junkyard." So that, and then they did the odd, they ran the girl's DNA and everything like that, and they figured out that it was a girl by the name of Celeste. Which he does have history with. They had a pretty public relationship that was like on the down low. A lot of people that knew the both of them knew it. It was kind of like a open secret. The people that knew her, that he was, dating her. And mind you, he is of age and she was not, which I think is crazy that everybody just kind of kept their mouth shut. But there is a reason for it, that he did pay a lot of people to keep their mouth shut. All that is alleged. Everything here is alleged because he has not been charged for anything. But I have a sneaking suspicion that it is true. Another thing of like the whole dichotomy of that music cannot be put against you in court of law. A lot of his music that he has made in the following 2 years of his like music career are oddly familiar and oddly similar to it reads incrimination basically, but in the United States that cannot be used as evidence of like stuff like that if it is vague enough. There is like unreleased songs. There's an unreleased song of his that literally has her name. He posted songs on her birthdays and stuff like that. So, in my humble opinion, I think he did it. The only thing that has happened on the law side is that there's an investigation pending and his house was raided. And because he is currently on tour, which the tour has been canceled for obvious reasons, but that is all that we know of right now. And I've been following this story very, very, very closely, so. But that is that. Another thing that I will say is the whole thing with Charlie Kirk. An Arizona man was arrested for allegedly threatening to shoot up a gay bar, and he claims to act as a martyr for Charlie Kirk, following his death at Utah University, which I think is insane, and also not surprising in the slightest, because his death has created a lot of civil unrest for millions of people. His death has created a fence and a divide of people who are celebrating his death and people who are mourning him.
Wait, sorry. Is the gay bar? Is the threat to the gay bar? Are you talking about what was his name? Something Robinson, the guy who shot him, or are you talking about a different guy who was inspired to shoot him?
Inspired to shoot him.
Okay.
So. But like, let me do my train of thought. My bad. I'm sorry. Nah, it's just created a lot of civil unrest between the two sides of people who loved him or hated him. So it is not surprising to me that this is happening, or like, oh, I did this for him or whatever. It's just going into like what kind of you said of like that, like everybody's against everyone else and no one feels safe, because I don't feel safe in my own country. And the thing is like, if somebody can be openly executed in front of everyone because he was at a school, he was in front of hundreds of people, just like that, in front of everyone, like that just kind of creates like a reason of like, no one is really safe from people who are acting out of their own morals in their way of thinking. Because in my humble opinion, I don't think anybody should be killed upon their opinion. If they were to do things that would warrant that, I don't think killing is warranted. In a lot of contexts, but especially for an opinion, I don't think that should be the case. Agree to disagree, but that's how I feel.
I think it's a mixed bag. I think it really depends, but like I do agree wholeheartedly with what you're saying, that people should not be there shouldn't be political violence in the fact, like, for someone's opinion, or violence for someone's opinion. That is very much not like it's not okay in the slightest. I will say I have no remorse for him because of his beliefs and what he follows, or what he stands for. And I think it's quite ironic how things have went. I'm not celebrating his death, nor do I think he like it was a right action. I don't think that any of that was right, but yeah, it's kind of like what you said. Like, I'm more I'm personally more scared about the direction that it's going, in the sense that people are feeling it's more like there's been talks on the about both sides, especially with the right saying, well, you know, now that now they're inciting political violence, I'm gonna pick up my gun and do the same thing. And it's already happened in the past. I believe this was a month ago with the senator in Minnesota who was shot and killed by um by a right-leaning extremist, and as well as his her husband, who was also shot and killed. But yeah, it's really the precedent that this is setting, that hey, you know, especially with like what happened today with anti-ICE, you know, are kind of following in the footsteps of Luigi Mangione, except his was more target. His was specifically a personal case that applied to many people. But yeah, especially with, like, you know, carving things in bullet casings, you know, shooting up or having political violence or civil unrest, like it's scary. It's like, it's not, you know, it's terrifying that this could happen at any place at any time.
Having like manifestos and things of that nature of like how their opinion settles, it I have read a few of the most recent like popular manifestos. Of course, like Luigi Manione's and the recent shooting that happened, but it is absolutely insane. Of just like, I agree with you on the stance of him. I feel no remorse. I'm not celebrating his death in any way, but I feel indifferent to it. Because I do, in fact, disagree with a lot of his policies and what he was saying and like how he was going about things.
Yeah.
I do not agree with him in the slightest. I'm on the same page as you. So like, do I believe that there should be violence for that? No. But it does create a huge state of like, oh well, if this happened, well, like you said, I'm gonna fight too, and it's just gonna create a lot of these cases of like the oppressed taking down the oppressor and the other way around, and it's just gonna continue to cycle until something bigger happens, and it's just gonna continuously get worse.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe I should turn around and target those people, and instead of
Oh my God.
going after people who aren't actually doing shit and just trying to live their lives. Maybe they should be going after the violent people that are going, you know,
Right.
violence on violence. Maybe they'll cancel out.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? And then we'll wrap it up and end it. Because it's already 1:30,
Yeah, it's
the
been
time.
going. Sorry.
Oh, no,
mine
you're
was
good.
pretty long.
No, it's okay. You're totally fine. Mine was also long, just the positives, the ups, and all that. But, Thomas, is there anything else you want to add?
Necessarily. I mean,
Because we can
For-
save them for the other time. That's why.
yeah. I don't really have much to say on that as of right now. I think most of what I wanted to say was stated already. It's just that there's a lot of unknowns with what's going on, and it just continues to get worse and worse. So this will not be the last time we talk about a big event like a political assassination, I don't think.
Oh,
Right.
without a doubt, no. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, before we end it, I want to talk about really quickly moving to Yap City segment. Just really quickly going through these. Supposedly, in Arizona news, one of the news was the 202 was going to be renamed to Kirk or whatever his name was. I forgot his name.
I think it's really funny that you don't know his name. I think it's actually significantly funnier and more insulting than anything else.
It is.
And I love that. I actually love that.
I'm not really in tune into the news. Literally, all I do is go to work, hang out with friends, take naps, read books, literally, and maybe doom scroll. But my doom scrolling is literally like, oh my god, this is the cute makeup stuff. And literally, it's just girly things. It's literally, that's all I do. And then I'm watching anime. and K-drama. That's literally what I'm doing. But there's no significance of like political news or like anything like that. I'm not against it, but it's just like it's not really girly pop. I don't know.
I feel like it's pretty important to catch up with
No,
the news,
yeah.
especially what's going on in the world.
I try to do it like once a month, like a recap what's going on. And then I also talk to you, Connor, about it. Like, hey, what's been going on? But yeah, so they said then the freeway, the 202 in Phoenix, they want to rename it. And then something with Jimmy Campbell, something with Disney Plus. I guess I don't know that much about it. Something with that, I saw that. And then PBS Kids shutting down. I forgot when it shut down, but it recently shut it down. I guess it didn't have any more funds or anything like that to continue on, so it just shut down. So pretty sad for people that grew up with PBS Kids. Another thing I do want to talk about this is just my Yap City, my little corner of it, but I really want to get, people are calling it dumb phones, but it's actually a flip phone, and I'm very excited to like get a flip phone. I'm probably gonna swipe my card on it tomorrow for sure, or maybe just next week or something like that. And I'm very excited because, like I said, I'm not really in tune in social media much or anything like that. And I only use my phone for like call or text or something like that. And most of the time I'm just on my computer. So I just feel like having a phone is not really necessary. So that's why I was just going to go ahead and just switch to a flip phone. And just, if somebody needs to call me, they can call me. If someone needs to text me, they can text me. But, you know, that's just my way of limiting doom scrolling, I guess you can say. Or just moving on from that. And I'm very excited about that. I encourage people to do that if they want to do that. If they don't want to do any more screen time, or like reduce their screen time or reduce their doom scrolling, I think it's going to be a very plus for sure.
There's been a lot of research on this.
Yeah. There was even like, I remember reading in Reddit or something like that they were saying that there were some schools that were blocking off like cellular, I can't even say the word, basically blocking off kids' access for phones and stuff like that, so they can be in tune to interaction and like talk to each other and just like do things that kids are supposed to be doing. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I was like, that's pretty much a W, because I feel like a lot of people are like losing their interaction skills or social life or something. I don't know. But yeah, anything else you guys want to say?
No, I think that's about it.
Anything in your life or anything like that before we end it?
That's pretty much it. Honestly, I got nothing.
Speaking of phones, I got a new phone. It's pretty awesome.
Oh.
Yeah, his phone
Got
is
an iPhone 15.
so
Sorry, not
pretty.
a flip phone.
No, you're fine. You're fine to have like whatever phone, but that's just
No,
me.
Yeah, no, I know.
Maybe soon you'll have a flip phone, and then we both can be like the it girls with the flip phone.
No, I'm be honest. I'm the type of person who's like, oh, I don't know what this is. I'm gonna go look it up really quick, and like I'll do it immediately.
No, yeah, for sure. I don't know. I feel like I just more go on computers or like even on my tablet, like research and do stuff like that. More school or academic things like that. But I just want to limit myself to doom scrolling and screen time. But that's just me. I can't wait. I'm gonna be like the very Y2K aesthetic for sure. Other than that, I believe that's everything. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up then. Thank you for everyone for joining in. I appreciate everyone, and I care about everyone and love everyone. Of course, go ahead and follow us in all of our social medias, and then go ahead and let people know about our podcast. We're almost reaching to 25k, or I was gonna say 25k followers. It's crazy. 25 people following, and then once we reach our goal, we're gonna be affiliated. So we're very excited about that. Thank you for everyone for joining, and see you later. Let me do the ending now. Ending.
Bye, everyone.
It's
Bye, everyone.
bye, everybody. Is it ending? Oh. Is it ending?
Is it ending?
I think it's ending. I think my thing's froze. You know what? It's ending. It's ending. Goodbye.
It's gone. We're done now.
We're done. Bye bye.
Bye bye now.